So after looking into how we could make our blog hero section mobile and tablet responsive, let's now look into how we could make all other sections responsive on our homepage. Why? Hey, because you actually need your website visitors to have a good experience once they are browsing through your website. And besides that, we are also going to be reusing some of these sections on our other pages, like the About page, the Contact page. Our blog section that we just worked on looks fine. And we also have to fix things here. This is totally off. So for the interest of time, since you have already seen how I could make changes to our blog hero section, I mean the responsive settings, I'm going to simply apply the same tactics for all these other sections so that we save up a little bit on time. So finally, I could fix all the responsive issues with this website for both mobile and a tablet. And the beauty is that I've also added custom breakpoints, just like Elementor now enables us to do so that I can have a preview of this website on a laptop, on an extra tablet, on a tablet size, an extra mobile, and as well on a mobile size. Now when we go over here to the mobile device, this is where I had to do a little bit of more tricks. For example, I am hiding this background heading over here so that it doesn't bring a lot of confusion on the mobile device. I also had to reposition our image so that someone has a better view of what is happening in the picture, as well as, for example, also decreasing the size of this text, something like 14. The same also for Margarita. I had to decrease the text size and obviously make the alignment to be in the center, so everything looks fine and neat. I also had to hide these two destinations over here by selecting the widget, coming over here to Advanced, Responsive, and under Responsive, I had to simply hide on the mobile device. Alright, so down below here, everything still looked nice and neat. Only that I had to now change the position of the Lottie animation down below here because I didn't want to put it this side to still grab someone's attention once they reach up down below here on our call to action. So I simply just had to select the Lottie animation and then change the rotation degree to -67 and also reduce the size of the Lottie animation. So that's it all for now on working on our responsive settings for our sections, and I think everything looks nice and neat. So one thing I also have to mention is that I also increased a little bit on the transparency of this color by selecting the column over here to style, and under style came over here on the color option and simply increased on the opacity of the color so that it's clear on all devices, whether bright or dark devices. What I have to do is to save this as a template so that I am able to reuse this template over and over again on different other pages in our website, just like you'll see later on in this tutorial. So I'm going to select the section and I'm going to say save as a template, and I'm going to say call to action, travel hacking. That's all. I'll close this and I'll simply now update. Now let's look into the preview of our website. Looks good. Okay, the other thing I have to mention is that now when we head over here, for example, on the mobile or tablet device, you realize that we have a very different hamburger icon over here compared to our pre-made website. So how do we make changes to this icon so that we have exactly the same here? That is done under our theme because we created our header using the Addons theme. We're going to come over here to the dashboard, then we'll come straight here to the customizer, and under the header for the tablet, we can just select the hamburger icon, and obviously we are taken over here to the mobile trigger. Now we don't want this, but this is what we want. The 3-dotted line, and I'll simply now publish. Now when I come back here on our page, I'm going to simply reload. I come back here to the responsive mode, our preview on a tablet, and voila, there we go. Now we have our toggle menu with the 3-dotted lines showing up here. Before we exit the header settings, we also have to look into how we can make changes to our blog post headers. Remember, our single blog posts will be catered for by the blog post layout from the Addons theme. For example, when I come over here and then I click on one blog post, let me say this over here, you realize that it's having a transparent header. So we don't want our single blog posts to have a transparent header. And now what we have to do is simply to come back here in our customizer. So still under our header, come over here to the transparent header. Once we disable the transparent header on posts, automatically we're having this as our background. Now what I'm going to do is to select our site title and we're going to change the color of our site title over here. For example, under the design, I'll come over here and then change that to our off-white color. All right, so far looks so good. The same also for the mobile. So our logo shows up and everything looks nice and neat. Now we have to close up the space over here. So how do we do that? We are going to come back over here to our blog posts layout, and under the vertical content padding, we are going to choose bottom only. And that means that the padding will be just down below here at the end of the post. You see, when I enable bottom only, padding is added over here, and then the padding is removed at the top over right here. Maybe we also have to further reduce on the font size of the single blog post on the mobile device, because here it looks too huge. Under the design, post font title for the mobile, we are going to reduce this a little bit. We will make it a 21, for the tablet a 27, and for the desktop a 35. For me, that looks so far so good. Anyway, now what I'm going to do is simply publish, and now that means that we'll have these changes reflecting on our website. So in case you want to make any changes on your single blog posts, please, this is the section where you simply have to come back under the customizer, blog post, then single blog post layout. There is the section for the general settings, including the layout, and then the section for the design where you can make custom changes of each and every element of this layout. Anyway, congratulations on working on your responsive settings for your homepage, and then also finally making final changes on the single blog post settings, including the header, which was transparent. Now we have one that looks like this, and also making just a few other tweaks that make a big change. Now let's hop over the next section and create our blog archive page.